Yeah. Yeah.
Click. Click. Click.
I did.
Click.
I did.
Click. Louder
I clicked
clicking.
the clickety-clack.
Louder
I did
clicking.
a clickety.
Click like the Hulk
I
would
clicked
click.
the clickety-clacker.
You can't click like the Hulk would click because you wouldn't have a
Well,
keyboard left.
I clicked the mount. I'm on a different keyboard now, Dan.
Oh, well, the Hulk would still destroy the keyboard. Like, what? You gonna put your giant Hulk finger straight into the
Click.
keyboard?
Yeah, no, I'm not. No. I'm not going to click like the Hulk would click.
I think that would be awesome. I should click like the Hulk would
sometimes
click.
you feel like you want to, but you realize you shouldn't.
I think sometimes I do click like the Hulk would click. How do you know how I? You don't know how I
don't
click.
know how you click.
You have no idea how I
don't.
click. This is what the world is coming to. No one understands each other because they don't understand how each other clicks.
That's true. People click in weird, different ways sometimes.
If people would just click
If they would
together,
click.
the world would be a
they
better
would just
place.
Click together. But sometimes people clack.
In fact, no, they don't clack. Clacking
Clacking
is not allowed.
Not allowed. Illegal.
No, because if you click,
Yeah.
you can buy a world of Coke and sing in perfect harmony.
Oh.
But if you clack, you cannot sing in perfect harmony.
What happens if you clack?
And that's jazz.
Oh. Okay.
I don't like where this is going.
I'm just asking for a friend.
That's fine. Just click. Just go. You know, it's click. It's whatever. It's clicking. Welcome to Funny Book Forensics, where we talk about
And
clicking, clacking, and famous pictures from the 1989 Oakland A's, Eric Plunk and Joe Klink.
Yes. That's all we're going to do today. Just talk about them. So thanks for joining us on Funny Book Forensics.
If your name is Plunk and you're a pitcher, does that mean you're going to hit a lot of batters?
It might.
I mean, I just feel like naturally
You'd
you
be
should.
plunking them. Plunk, plunk, plunk. Just like those fuzzy cat things at the fair. You know, you just, the plunks.
You can't hit the fuzzy cat things at the fair.
Nobody
No
can
one
do
can
it. I mean, it's set up so that you can't. Yeah,
It's a
I mean,
trap.
I'm pretty sure there's a 2x4 attached to the back of them to hold them up so they don't actually fall over. You can hit those things pretty hard and they never fall over.
It's a trap. Well, we're here to discuss a book that has pages and pictures.
Pages and pictures. Yes.
And words in bubbles.
In a bubble.
Because that's what we do at Funny Book Forensics. And we also have friends or professional acquaintances.
I mean, they're friends.
Yes.
Some friends. Some.
Well, they're your
They're
friends.
your friends too, Dan.
I don't think
I
so.
think so.
But
you've hung out with some
Well-
of the a few, a handful of them.
Wow. Yeah. What would it be like? It's the Greg Show, and always is Dan. It's Dan, and always is Dan. Is Dan? I can't even say things.
And with him, as always.
You know, the sad part
is
is, I think we're gonna release the show after the Grit City Comic Con, which we should have been advertising on the other side of shows.
What?
But you're doing you did a good job advertising it on our social media.
I did,
so.
didn't I? Ha! I snuck it in there.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
And of course we have support from a place called project-nerd.com.
Hey. Yes.
Sometimes they like to promote our podcast. It's cool. I don't know if they like to. I mean, they do.
Think they'd.
I can't imagine anybody liking to promote this podcast. I mean, that's like liking to eat oatmeal.
Or Pep.
Oh yeah, Pep. Brought to you by.
You know what's crazy?
Pep. Kellogg's Pep. Sponsoring Superman. How did you remember?
I was at an antique mall yesterday and I saw a box top for it, but it was the amount of money they wanted for the very sad piece of cardboard that was left of this Pep box top was ridiculous.
Should have talked them
There was
down.
nobody there to talk
Tell
down.
them your friend
it was
wanted
it was
it.
one of those like ones with all those like booths that they just leave the stuff in, and
Oh, the loss
yeah,
leader
so I
booths.
was like,
Yeah.
walking through there. I was like, oh, Pep, $75 for a tiny piece of cardboard that says Pep on it. Anne's looking at me like I'm just dumb for holding on to this thing, and I'm like, I do want this, but I don't think it's. And she goes, put it back. Put it back. I'll buy you something nice.
Anne never lets me get birthday presents.
She said, you'll find another that won't look like it got eaten by a dog.
That's fair. Well, yeah, we have other friends too, but we'll talk about them later in the podcast, I guess. I don't even know what Project Dash Nerd is up to these
they're
days.
up to a lot of stuff. Like,
well, their Kickstarter.
They got a new one.
Successfully done.
They got a new. There's a
new one. That's too confusing. I can't keep track of one.
There's a new
more.
one coming up. So SMA, it is a re-release book that they're
SMA.
yeah,
Ooh la
so
la.
it's
No, like the hair stuff.
Yeah, like that hair stuff. So, I'm
in need of some more
I know
hair
you
products.
are, aren't you? So you need that luscious hair product. Now it's a female lead book, so it looks like it's going to be pretty good. It's something that they had done in the past, and they're bringing it back, revival book, if you will. So it's coming back for a second printing.
Okay, not like they brought it back in Clerks 2.
No, not like they brought it back in Clerks 2.
That's good. That's good. That's very good.
No, not like that.
Yeah. Oof. Oh. Okay. Well, we'll post and share about that as time goes on. We want to jump right back into the Human Target.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yep. It looks like we have it's number 8.
And 8 is great.
And I've got a cover, and it looks like on the cover that Iron Man got together with the Legion of Superheroes, and they made Wildfire Man.
Because he looks like a fireman? Oh.
No, it's like Wildfire's reflective browser.
Yeah, okay, got it. Check. Visor. His reflective browser. His
I don't know
his
what's
reflective
going on.
browser. So
reflective
you
browser.
pop it up in your like Google search, check this out, and it's like reflection. So you've been looking up some very interesting things, Dan.
Well, this is we know this is our friend Rocket Red, Dimitri.
Yeah.
We know that. Who is not a manhunter, because no man defeats the manhunters.
No man defeats the manhunters.
No man defeats the manhunters. In fact, if you would, take one night out of your busy life to play my DC card game, I could get the version out with the manhunters, and then every time you played it, I would make you say,
no man defeats the manhunters.
No man can
defeat the manhunters. Well, Dan,
I better check to make sure I'm right.
Dan,
you may be right.
You might be in luck because we might be sponsoring. Oh, we might be sponsoring. There will be a game night at the Retro Emporium coming up sometime soon, in which you could bring a game to a Retro Emporium After Dark event, and we could play it. That's right. Open table to bring a game and play it.
Do you know how long it takes to play my game?
Oh, no, we can't play your game then. I'm sorry.
I see.
Is it like
so?
Is
all
it,
of
is
that.
It like Risk?
All of that.
Is it like playing Risk? Or
no,
it like
it is
playing
not like
Monopoly?
playing Risk. It's like playing the DC.
Remember when
card
we were playing
game.
Monopoly and I fell asleep at the table? Or was that Life?
I don't.
I fell asleep. We were playing some game.
I think that was a game of Life.
I fell asleep during a game of Life. I literally fell asleep, everybody. We were playing a game with Dan and Paul, Lawyer Paul, and I just literally crashed. I fell asleep.
I don't know. Maybe it was Monopoly. I don't think that Jujutsu Lawyer Paul would play
Yeah,
Monopoly with me.
we were playing. We were playing something. I crashed, and that was it was a low point in Greg's day, and it wasn't even like I don't think there was. I think I mean there was a lot of food
Well,
involved.
maybe it's because you only sleep for like 3 hours a night.
Hey now, that
Oh, I was wrong. No man escapes the
no
manhunters.
man escapes the manhunters.
How could I mess
How
that up?
long does your game
Yeah.
take to play? Really?
In the game, you would be so happy because if you have the demon Entrigan, I make you rhyme for the entire term.
I like that.
Yeah. I've had other people that don't enjoy this rule.
I would and could play this game none the same as you see because rhyming is something that I like for me. It's something that I know is true. It's something that you know I can do. It's something that I can do all night if I was playing this game with you. All right.
But your turn's over right now. Entrigan's in the done now. So, oh god, why do I make rules that will hurt me? Why do I do things that will hurt me? I feel like I just do things that will hurt me. I don't know why. Why do I fall into these traps?
It's a trap.
Oh boy. Well, anyway, we flip the page and we get an advertisement.
Ah!
Mark Silvestri drawing Batman.
Hey.
I guess I didn't read that one. All right. Is it just me, or do you just want? I only want Mark Silvestri on team books.
Team books.
I mean, it's not like his solo work is terrible, but when he draws team books, it's kind of epic. But anyway, we flip to the first page, and Christopher Chance is where he is most of the series, prone.
In bed. Oh, yeah.
He's with Ice again. They look like they're in the hotel room and not at Ice's house.
Oh, it does look like the hotel because it's the comforter. Do you think the hotel has a king size bed? Be fit for a king?
Oh, I was going off the lamp.
I mean, if it was a king size bed and fit for a king, if he had a king, well, I mean, she's a queen, she's royalty, so it must be ready. You know, it's
what if it was a California king, and then it satisfies no one?
Them.
It's not. It's bigger than a queen, but not a king, and doesn't fit in the room.
It's probably a queen size bed because she's a queen, right? So I mean, she's like Ice Queen, right? So or she's an Ice Princess.
Well, I don't know. Then didn't she make up her whole story about being a queen as a princess? Technically,
maybe it's a twin size bed then.
That would be small.
Do you think he ever sits there and lays and wonders where his twin brother is?
No. No. Definitively no. I was just going through comic book storylines in my head that involved twin brothers in the womb, and I was like, nope, and nope. Shittiest X-Men storyline of all time. Yep, okay. Okay, second, well, at least top 5. Like, Scott Summers sleeping with Emma Frost in his mind still ranks number 1 for me. And I'm blind to like a whole 15 years of X-Men storylines too. So, I'm sure there were worse ones out there, but the twin Charles Xavier twin brother womb thing. Oh my God. And then they put it in the movie. Right? Then it shows that it wasn't twin brother, it was twin sister, right? Well, whatever.
Just like in Star Wars.
But they put it in the third Deadpool movie to make fun of it, right?
I haven't seen it yet. Thanks for the spoiler.
Yeah. Oh, you've had ample time to watch this movie. Dan,
you know how my schedule is.
Yeah, I do. It's been months. I do know how your schedule is. You sleep 3 hours a night. Why don't you watch it one of those nights you don't sleep?
In the comfort of my own home.
On VHS? What century are you in?
The current one. They're
oh God.
They're putting out movies on VHS again.
Anyway,
all right. So
Christopher Chance yells the F word and tells Ice to get down because somebody's shooting tranq darts at them. We get a really cool 9-panel grid of Ice getting shot with a trank, and Christopher Chance grabbing a
Oh
shotgun
man.
while he recounts everything that's happening. I will say, I think the film noir version of this allows for all the dialogue there, but I have definitely been critical in the past of authors who put too much dialogue over beautiful art that's already explained in the scene.
It's true.
And nothing in this page is new for us.
Yeah.
So if you were picking up at issue number 8 in a maxi series, which is highly unlikely, this would be great. And so I admired this as if this was an off-the-shelf comic book, like in issue 8. You were still trying to get readers in.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's what's going on.
So I should probably not trash it too much, but I really don't like all the dialogue on that page. It just gets in the way of the beautiful Greg Smallwood art that explains the scene. And we get the next page, day 8. We get make sure the other guy's a target too. It's after all that dialogue. He's like, come on in, and we see the famous Rocket Red suit. But it looks like Rocket Red number 1. I'm confused. Well, let's find out why. And we hear, Christopher, please, will you listen? It's important for you to hear. I'm just putting a new coat of paint on armor. I'm hoping you will not be scratching it very hard. There's Dimitri. That's the Dimitri I know. At least the dialogue's right. And Chance fires at him. He says, this is not a good decision. And he knocks Christopher Chance out with his repult. His repult. His repult. His repult. I don't know, Ray. On his arm.
His doohickey blaster.
Doohickey Ray. His knock you out iron. I mean, Rocket Red. The Rocket Red. Well, anyway, Christopher Chance wakes up on the floor somewhere, and he's like, "Oh man, something's wrong with my neck," and he smells alcohol. He's like, he swabbed me before he put the injection in.
That was nice.
Yeah, it is nice. And he wakes up, and there's like pictures of little kids and little cat drawings on the refrigerator. And he sees Dimitri sitting at the table. Oh, they even said Dimitri's name yet. Sorry. Fake iron. I mean, rocket. Russian iron. I mean, iron sickle. Rocket Red.
I thought it was
Rocket
Santa
Red.
Claus.
It's Dimitri. Anyway, and it better be. Anyway, he's like, "Where's Ice?" She's at the hotel. And he's like, it'll take 12 hours to wear off. She's sleeping. And he's like, I fixed the door and put a camera there, and we'll get an alert if something bad happens. And Christopher Chance is like, Jesus, what time is it? He says, after lunch. And he offers Christopher Chance hot dogs and 1-calorie soda.
That's very thoughtful. He's a thoughtful guy.
And, yes. And he offers him... and he asks for some drink, and they get some vodka to celebrate the occasion. Yeah.
It's just moving right along.
And he looks at the man with the vodka, and Christopher Chance tells him he's going to break his neck after what he did to Ice. And they drink a little bit. And after the threat, the guy in the Rocket Red armor, who I presume is Dimitri, knocks him out again.
Yeah. I like the way that it's drawn because he says he moves so fast I didn't see him coming, and it's all blurred
Yeah.
in the art, and it just looks
Yep.
so good. It's like very blurry, fast.
Then we get something in Russian. Hold, please.
Translate it.
I will do my best,
right.
sir.
He's going to translate it, folks. He's going to give us a translation.
Yes, I'll do my best. I mean, I don't know. Do you know Russian? I don't know Russian.
And my neighbors that I could ask have left the neighborhood, so.
Doesn't appear to say anything in Russian. Oh, wait, that's because it's set to Spanish and English. I'm very confused.
That is the best translation ever. Oh, wow.
Yes. Good job, Google Translate. Way to update.
Oh, man.
Let's go. Russian. Apparently, I have to download Russian.
Okay.
Oh, apparently Russian is...
blocked.
Jeez, Louise. Okay. Russian is blocked. And now it's going Russian to Spanish. So that could be fun.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Russian to Spanish to English.
Okay. All right. What do we got here? Let's drink to the fact that we will experience as much sorrow as there are drops of wine remaining in our glasses.
Okay.
Wow. All right.
It's very deep.
Well, he wakes up. Christopher Chance now wakes up in a field with some human targets, fake human targets next to him.
Apropos.
Dummy targets. And he's like, it feels like there's a hand inside scratching my skull. And then he starts cussing because like stuff explodes around him.
Bam, bam, pow, pow.
And now the Rocket Red is standing in a field, and I guess we should read this little bit. So he says, Chance says, Tolstoy had a theory about the Napoleonic Wars and how Russia won. Basically, as the French invaded, the Russians engaged and quickly realized they couldn't beat Le Grand Army on the field. So they retreated and kept retreating, and Napoleon celebrated and pushed forward, sacking cities as he went, going so far as to take out the capital. But over the course of the winter, then winter headed in, and Napoleon found his supply lines stretched too thin to care for his freezing army. The French, dying in the snow, started to withdraw their army, and at that point, the Russians attacked, and Napoleon, who almost conquered the world, fell from his horse and wept. Sounds like another war to you. I feel like multiple armies have tried to invade Russia in the winter, and it didn't work. I guess, and we won't talk about Russian wars anymore on this podcast. In light of current events. But Chance notes that Russians had the courage to lose, and that's why they won. And Dmitri holds out his hand on part of the 6-panel grid and says, "You have done something wrong, and it's time for you to confess." And at the bottom of the page, Dmitri says, "You think you're funny?" And he says, "No, I think you're stupid." And they shake hands. And Rocket Red shocks him and carries him into the sky. He wakes up and he's floating. Well, sort of floating. I don't know if this is a realistic position here. I feel like the t-shirt would rip. And Rocket Red's just holding him by the t-shirt. And Christopher Chance is there up in the sky with him, and they're talking. And Chance is like, "What time is it?" And Rocket Red says, "Maybe you should get a watch. You didn't happen to bring any of that vodka, did you?" He said, "Mr. Chance, where is Guy Gardner?" And he's like, "I have no idea." And Rocket Red drops him and says, "I do not like your answer." And Chance falls from the sky. And while he is falling from the sky, he issues a soliloquy similar to Lois Lane flying in the sky with Superman in the first Superman movie. And a nice summary of that soliloquy is a summary of the entire book up to this point.
Yeah.
And then Dimitri catches him again, and Chance pisses him off again, and he drops him again.
It's like a game. They're just playing a big game, having a nice conversation, right? That's what I said the last time when we were talking about this book. And you're like,
and then Chance,
this book.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's just a conversation.
It is. Well, it's not. I mean, admittedly, it's definitely not my favorite of the series.
Wait, even more so than Tales of the Human Target?
I kind of like the Tales book better than this.
So when we just to back up, just to put a pin in this for a second, dear listeners, when we hit Tales of a Human Target the first time,
yeah, I'm a hypocrite.
Dan was like,
I
don't want to read this.
Well, I need to read this one to get through the story. I felt like Tales was an add-on I didn't necessarily need.
Yeah,
Does
that
makes
makes
sense?
And then after,
at least this one progresses the story where Tales doesn't.
Okay. Well, no, Tales gives a explanation as to people's impression.
Tales gives background information of the characters I don't have to read to understand how the flow of the story works. This is part of the story arc, so I do need it in the story because we are getting at least one person wondering about what happened to Guy Gardner, right?
One person. Nobody else cares.
I think most people don't care, but apparently people do care because his first appearance is now selling all the time because one crappy Firefly actor is now like playing him in a movie.
Oh boy. You put one person in, like one person that people like as the character that nobody likes, and then everybody likes the character.
He played Arm Fall Off Boy in Suicide Squad. Remember? And they called him the detachable kid because they can't use Arm Fall Off Boy because that was written by a fucking sex offender. So we're still going to put it in a movie. Good. And Nathan Fillion still chose to play that. And it wasn't good. It was terrible.
I'm nodding along in agreement.
Sure. And now he's going to play another terrible character.
I hope he does a good job playing a terrible character.
He'll probably do a good job. You know what? I'll probably come back and be like, I really like that.
I mean, he does it.
It's just, again, we discussed this with Guy Gardner. It's like how, at this point in the character's history, he's not an anti-hero, right? Like, there are people that have written him as an anti-hero or pseudo-likable or as that good old Trump guy, like I'm just a misunderstood good old boy, but generally a good guy at heart. No, fuck that. Like if you mentally abuse women,
you're a bad guy.
If you hit them, you are not a good guy.
And hopefully,
if you rape porn stars while you're married, you're not a good guy.
And hopefully Fillion can bring that type of that character to light.
Oh, how wonderful.
I'm not...
You know what? Yes, I get it. Like, yeah, I mean, he's used to playing characters that are best friends with prostitutes. Yeah,
I'm saying if he, maybe people won't be like, oh, hey, cool, he's playing this guy. He's playing Guy Gardner. That's, and they'll go, oh, wow, no, Guy Gardner's a piece of shit.
Well, I hope so. I mean, I hope that's how they portray him.
Because, I mean, he is a good actor that can, he's got layers, man.
Is he?
I mean, I like 75% of the things that he's in.
I know I'm in disagreement.
I'm not saying I like 100% of the
everybody's
stuff that he's done, but I like 75% of this stuff.
All right, let's. You know what? We're gonna do a quick interlude and do the "Let's Prove Dan Wrong" thing again. So we're gonna look up Nathan Fillion, and I'm gonna see everything he was in, so you can make fun of me because I never know who anybody is, and we're gonna see all the things that he was in. Noting, I think Firefly is quite possibly one of the most overrated shows in the history of television. Oh, he was in Serenity. Is that something like Firefly?
Dan.
I was joking. That was a joke. That was
Oh
a
my
joke.
god.
I am well aware that Serenity is the movie we got because they didn't keep doing Firefly. I am aware of that. Let's see. I am on the IMDb's right now. Okay. Personal details. I don't care about any of this crap. Just tell me what he's in. How is this so hard, Amazon? Like, make a website that tells me what people do.
Do the thing that I want. Well.
Okay. Oh, I think I accidentally crossed off the thing I was looking for. I think that's my fault. My bad, Amazon. You clearly... Let's see. He was the voice of Headpool in Deadpool and Wolverine.
And you like that movie.
Yes, but yeah, clearly because of Nathan Fillion. That was... he was Master Karja in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Really, they should have just stopped it too.
See, I haven't seen 3, so I mean,
don't save yourself some time. Like, he's been a voice on Robot Chicken. I like Robot Chicken. He was the voice of Wonder Man in the MODOK series. I didn't get that far in, so I saw an episode. I guess I sort of thought it was funny, but not enough to keep
it going.
He had a 4-episode voice stint on The Venture Bros. I love The Venture Brothers. He was Green Lantern in the Death of Superman cartoon. There's a lot of voice work here. He does hang around the comic book community. He was in 1 episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I like that show.
You started.
He was a voice in
all these things that Dan likes. People, he was part of.
Yes, he's like a voice in one thing. Like
I
I'm still looking for him. He was in the Con Man the game. Let's see. Castle. What is this?
You'd actually probably like the show.
He was Richard Castle.
It's a show about a author.
Castle from 2009 to 2016.
He's an author who hangs out with police while figuring out crimes. And
I see. So it's Murder, She Wrote with Nathan Fillion.
Sorta.
So Nathan Fillion is Angela Lansbury.
Yeah.
How would I like this? You know what? I did find something I liked him in. He was in a single episode of Drunk History, and I did like that episode.
There you go.
I do. I have a secret affinity for Drunk History. Like, I don't think it's that secret, actually. I mean, look. I hope he does the most despicable Guy Gardner. I just don't want the character in anything.
I understand.
Oh, he was the voice of the Vigilante in Justice League Unlimited. Not the Vigilante you're thinking of. Like the Golden Age Vigilante on the horse. Yeah. See, that's where you're... Yeah, I saw where you're going there. You're like, I just saw your brain going, wait, the Vigilante was in Justice League Unlimited? How is that possible? Like, that character does not fit there.
I was like, what?
Yeah, you're very confused. No, they had the Golden Age Vigilante on the show, right? Okay, yeah. All right, well, anyway, this Nathan Fillion aside was brought to you by...
Project Nerd?
No, it's brought to you by, you messed it up, the Retro Emporium, where you can relive your childhood, and where the owner of the Retro Emporium is a big fan of one Nathan Fillion.
75% of the things he does.
I'm just saying, I was being completely honest.
Yes.
So if you want to talk about Nathan Fillion and relive your childhood, you can go see Anne at the Retro Emporium on Meeker Street in Kent, Washington.
She does watch all this stuff. That's the truth.
I'm aware. I know these
that's
things.
How I watch.
All right,
this
so
stuff that he's...
Because I thought you were the one seeking. I just looked at some Nathan Fillion Castle graphics here. I clearly thought, based on those graphics, you were the one seeking Nathan Fillion out. Now, the
Yeah.
only reason I might consider watching
Yeah.
the show was the graphics I
Okay.
saw. But then half of the picture makes me not want to watch the show. So,
Oh, you'd actually like it though.
Well, that's what you say. Maybe I'll put it on the list of workout shows to work out to. Okay.
Just like Elsbeth.
All right. So anyway, back to now Rocket Red has jailed has jailed Christopher Chance. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna just pause here. I realize the Human Target already had a television show, and so somebody already played Christopher Chance, right?
But Nathan Fillion could.
But I would actually be okay with Nathan Fillion playing
Christopher Chance.
Christopher Chance in the extended movie universe. I could actually see that.
Yeah. Let's put it out there.
I could actually see that.
I would watch it.
So.
And so would my wife.
That'd be a good way to bring your wife into the DC Universe movies. See? There we go. Well, that's what they're trying to do.
Honestly,
already. But then she's going to watch it and she's going to be like, who is this asshole that he's playing?
She would rather watch the DC Universe movies than watch the Marvel Universe movies.
Well, that's because after for the last 4 or 5 Marvel movies, it's just like explosions.
They're too actiony. There's more story.
You literally just have explosions and more explosions.
She likes the story.
I like explosions.
Cool
anyway,
guys.
And multi-universal explosions, right? Oh, wow. So the guy that played... Oh, that's who Mark Valley is. Okay. The guy that played Hitman was Brad Chase in Boston Legal. Okay.
It's all coming.
Yes, the last great show that William Shatner was on. Unfortunately, it's been a bit, but William Shatner is a very old human.
Excuse me, you say last great show? He was on the show in which they had him and oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of they had a bunch of old famous people. Henry Winkler was on there.
Yeah, that's true.
And they all went on like a world trip. Of Muhammad Ali, I think.
That's true.
No, not Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, I was sort of thinking of like the long-term acting role that he had, like, you know. If that is that a fair statement? Can I rephrase that slightly? The last like kind of long-term acting thing. If you've never watched Boston Legal, James Spader is in it. I know James Spader isn't for everyone.
He's great though.
But William Shatner losing his mind as he like decides if he should retire maybe hits a little bit too on the nose in today's political climate. But my God, is it good?
Solid.
Anyway, I bet some of the jokes are probably not okay now. So if you do watch it,
what, 15 years old? Yeah.
Yeah. So I guarantee some of the jokes would be canceled, but that's it is what it is. Well, anyway. We should move forward.
So Rocket Red has now dropped Christopher Chance for a second time.
Well, now he's in jail.
That's right.
He's like in a jail cell. Yeah. Well, that's what happens after he gets
dropped. He's in a jail cell. Oh yeah.
And he's coughing, and Dimitri's there with the vodka, and he's like, "You missed dinner," and Dimitri's getting drunker and drunker. And throws the bottle at him. And he's basically like... Chance is like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he just says, lies, lies, lies. I drink your lies. He's getting drunk off of Christopher Chance's lies.
Sounds like a song.
And he says, do you think I wear the suit because it is a good fit? I built suit. I am a scientist. I am a researcher. I checked with the satellite to see if there are records of Green Lantern leaving the planet. There is none. I checked to see if Guy's lantern is here on Earth. Energy can be tracked, and again, there's none. He's not on Earth, is not off Earth, is strange. So while you are sleeping, I examine you with armor. I see you have this ring energy on you, just traces. Usually you won't find this on people unless it is pressed hard into the skin where it can be detected for almost a week. I see this thing on your neck. Maybe he was strangling you. So man who hates you disappears and you have energy on you that say he was trying to hurt you. And do you say, oh, there was a fight and he was hurt? Or, oh, there was a fight and he ran and I don't know where? No, you say nothing. This, I think, means you killed him.
Boom, boom, boom.
And Dimitri takes off the armor. Why do these guys keep taking off their armor and their rings and stuff to fight Christopher Chance?
Yeah, they want to even
seems like
level that
strategy.
playing field. They don't want to straight up kill him, right?
Well, they start punching the hell out of him, and Dimitri's like demanding to know where Guy Gardner is. And then he says, I took off all of my armor because I thought it might be too tempting to kill you before I got the right information. I think maybe I should put it back on. And as he's beating the shit out of Christopher Chance, his armor starts beeping. Beep, beep, beep. That must be because his armor isn't touching his heart anymore. Anyway, at some point after that Tolstoy reference earlier, Christopher Chance is like, fuck Tolstoy. And he's like, I'm out cold again. And he's like, I'm home again. And Ice is with him. She says, I'm here, and he's not alone. He said, it's about to be 10:37 p.m. by my watch. In case you were wondering, Mr. Chance, where's my gun? Red is here to apologize, Christopher. We got an alert on the Justice League comms. It is from Guy. He is saying he moved to another dimension unexpectedly. Mm-hmm. And he hopes that Christopher Chance will forgive him. Oh. And Chance says, after my dad died, I decided that was it. It was my job to take the bullet. It was my job to die. And I wouldn't be like my dad. I wouldn't be selfish like him. I didn't need him to fail, need a family to fail. And then he selfishly punches the fuck out of Dimitri, who actually solved the crime. And Ice yells, Christopher. And he's like, you cost me a whole day of my life. I don't have time for this shit.
Oh.
And
he's stomping on him.
Ice knocks him out. They go back to bed. He's mad that he wasted an entire day, but Dimitri's gone, and we end with Ice and Chance in bed, and he says, I'm good. He says, go quick, leave nothing behind. Thinks. And wow. I said I didn't like it's probably one of my least favorite issues of the series. But I'm going to sell the fact that my argument is correct, because you really do have to read this one, at least in the sequence, to get it going. Because they do want to illustrate that he's wasting a day, and he's upset with that, right? Like, in the whole notion of he's pissed and he's about to die, and he doesn't want to waste his time. I get it. Rocket Monroe, Russian Iron Man. Anyway, it is interesting that of all the people, like, in the Justice League, Dimitri's the one to figure it out. He doesn't know exactly what happened, but he puts all the clues together. They said the Justice League would figure it out, right? And then, Ice presumably fakes the signal or whatever, right, to make him not figure it out. But I do at least like that piece. And I do think, even though we're not going to discuss issue 9, I do think 8 sets you up for 9. And I'll do a little bit of foreshadowing, because Christopher Chance gets very paranoid in issue 9 about being caught.
Oh yeah, because it's already been put together. Yeah, he's He's like, oh shoot,
Right.
some.
And so if you skip this issue and just read 9, 9's not going to make a lot of sense.
You need this one to get to that point. Yeah, I can. It's, you're right. Like on a second read or a third read, or after multiple reads, it sinks in that yes, it makes a lot of sense. But if you're just reading this and you're just like blasting through it, you're just kind of, you're left just like Christopher Chance is at the end of the book, angry, because you're like, what the heck? It's just just Rocket Red beating the crap out of him over and over again for 20 pages.
Right. And that's sort of silly,
Yeah.
right?
And
but if you get the next issue, it all makes sense.
It does. And then you're like, oh, paranoia.
Yeah.
Paranoia. What?
Okay.
No.
I didn't know that's where you're going, but yeah. I thought you were starting to sing the diarrhea
Oh,
song.
yeah, no, that happened earlier. Oh, boy.
Wow.
Just joking. Grandma and I played a game of pull my finger and let one go, and
what?
boy, oh boy, never gamble on a fart, kids.
Enough of that. Enough. Jesus. And I see, again, I make decisions that are negative to my life, and they come back to haunt me.
I didn't say who won or lost, but it was me.
Again, I didn't need any more detail. We were good.
We could
on
see
that
clearly
note,
Dan is the loser in this conversation.
On that, Dan is the loser in most conversations. On that note, I think we probably could wrap this one up.
Just like Jiu-Jitsu lawyer Paul wraps people up, both in the ring, on the mat, and in the law room. In the law room.
In the law room. In the law room.
In the law room.
Where have you been? Have you been to the law room
Oh,
before?
yeah. He's like, come here. I got a black belt in lawyering.
Yeah, I bet he does say that. Or he walks around going, I am the law. Because he actually does do that.
I am the dirt.
I'm the dirt. No, it's, there's a great podcast, side note, but unfortunately they don't make any more episodes of it. But, well, anyway, Jiu-Jitsu lawyer Paul, if you want him for legal services or Jiu-Jitsu services, if you want him for Jiu-Jitsu services, you can find him at Bridgeport Way and 27th in Tacoma, Washington. You go down Bridgeport, you turn left on 27, you go back behind the Meineke, and then turn around, and you're in his parking lot. And if you're coming toward the Narrows Bridge, you just turn into his parking lot. It's kind of amazing.
Clickety-clack.
And you can go see him. And I'm sure if you go there for jiu-jitsu time, you can also just ask him to be your lawyer, and he'll represent you.
Represent.
Just like he does Greg Smith.
All my legal in.
Yeah. And me. He's represented me in 3 separate legal affairs, which have been very nice. All have had positive outcomes. In fact, we talk about this all the time, but I should share with everybody that Jiu-Jitsu lawyer Paul sued a collection company that was harassing me for a bill that I paid that didn't even belong to me.
They were coming after you for money they wanted, but wasn't yours.
Well, I was a co-signer. This is young and make stupid mistakes. I was a co-signer on a loan. A co-signer. The person that signed on the loan did not pay. I paid off the balance of the loan.
It wasn't even yours.
And it was not even mine. And yet these debt collectors came after me claiming that I had not paid the balance of the loan. And it was zombie debt. It was exactly that. And Jiu-Jitsu lawyer Paul successfully sued them, and 3 different times.
3 different times.
Well, he didn't sue them. Yeah, he threatened to sue them. He wrote them mean legal letters, and we told them we were going to sue. And I settled with them. I got 3 different settlements with them. And the last one says that I get paid a certain amount automatically if anybody calls me again.
That's nice.
It's in writing.
That's the kind of legal help you need
Yeah.
and want, people.
That is the exact kind of legal help you need and want, like somebody that actually cares
Yeah.
about humans. So anyway, we will say if you do have a legal situation, you can reach out to us too. We can put you in touch with Jiu-Jitsu lawyer Paul. Of course, you have to be in Washington for those services, but yeah.
Or find him on TikTok. No, I'm just kidding.
You could find him on TikTok talking about the law and talking about jiu-jitsu.
Doing those
So
things.
it's shocked. You should be shocked to find that out. Let's see, anything you need to promote in the month of November?
Well, I mean, I don't know if this will come out after, but Grit City Comic Show, was it the 9th, 8th, 9th, 8th, 9th, 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 8th?
It might come out before.
Well,
yeah, I think. Let me look at the calendar. Let's see. We've got one coming out on the 27th, and then one coming out on the 3rd. So sure, yeah, this should come out. I think this comes out the week before, if I'm timing out my podcast right.
Well, I'll be at the Grit City Comic Show, and I believe you will also be there with me.
I will consider showing up.
Consider showing up
to accompany you at the table.
And then, that Mike Tanner guy is going to be
I did
there.
just find out that I did look at the guest list and found out that our favorite Spider-Man artist is not.
He's not going to be there.
Well, he wasn't on the guest list, so
travesty.
Now we really have to call him.
None.
You know what? Spoiler alert. And we're saying now he's a great artist. I'm not saying he's my favorite Spider-Man artist based on quality of work, though he is a great artist. That this is not meant to insult the man. I am just saying. I mean, because like you're competing with some pretty heavy hitters there.
JRJ.
But he is definitely my favorite Spider-Man artist in quality of work and to chat with. And I have art on my wall. Now, we have also chatted with Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
Many times. Not to flex.
There's no flexing. Just, I mean.
But I don't think he'd answer our calls now. And this artist definitely would.
Definitely awkward high school kids with new upstart. Hey guys, how's it going? Very
awkward high school kids with awkward just after college artists making millions of dollars.
Oh, hey guys.
Starting his own company.
You see my new book? Yeah, we're here buying it, dude.
Actually, he always, honestly, he had the swagger. I think that's probably because he played baseball. Like, he was used to being in front of people.
Just a cool dude.
He definitely had the swagger compared to the other image startup artists, honestly. Yeah. I think Jim Lee had the swagger, too. But, I mean, anyway. Well, not to get too far off down that track. But anyway, Greg, I'm putting this on you. I'm calling it out on the podcast. We've got to get that artist on our show.
We will lock it in. Get it.
We promised him that we would do that. And he said that he would review one of his least favorite, like not least favorite, but kind of like funny, ridiculous comic books. Or we would review like a ridiculous book that he actually worked on.
All right. Well,
so we're talking like capital territory here.
Well, then we'll get something. It'll be great.
But anyway, we got to do that. So I don't know why, but anyway, if this person comes to Grit City, I will make sure we shout them out.
Will do.
But I don't want to shout them out right now because we haven't got them on the podcast and they are not going to be at Grit City. Potentially. But if they were, and if they are, then we will shout that out. And if we get them like a date to record a podcast, we will definitely be shouting that out. Yeah, the podcast will be like carnage.
It'll be
here.
It will be. It will.
Complete carnage. Complete carnage. Yeah.
Carnage asada.
Complete carnage.
Carnage asada.
Carnage salad.
Carnage salad.
Yeah, that's when you put all the raw meat on the salad to make it healthy and not salad.
I thought it was carnage asada.
Well, anyway.
Carnage el salad? Okay.
Joe Quesadilla.
Perfect. Quesadilla.
It's in the bag.
It's in the bag. Put it in the bag.
In the bag.
Put
it in the bag. Well, anyway, we should wrap this
Like
one
a
up
burrito.
before we say something really dumb. No,
Oh,
you took it
gosh.
too far. Put it in the bag was the final clue.
Okay. I'm quiet now.
Well, it's who they worked with. Anyway, it's who they worked with.
You can finish the show now. You can
Too
finish
much
the
of
show
a clue.
now.
Really? That's what we're okay. I see how it is. Oh well. Okay, show over. This I'm Dan. That's Greg. This was Funny Book Forensics. We hope you had fun listening. And we hope that you clickety clack on your way out of here and have a wonderful day.
Oh no. Oh crap! What did I do?
Oh my God, I'm the one that doesn't have the clicker up. What the hell?
Oh my God! I hit a button. Stuff up.